ISUPK. Oh, and West. Babylon is falling to rise no more again. Babylon is falling. Freedom is here, my friend, not just part of the nation. Yeah, our shine never come bring peace, him start of the vision. Now put your trust in the riches and wealth, guns are ammunition. I just the last statutes and commandments, we make the decision to keep them with precision. I just part of the nation. Daniel get a vision, him see the black Christ, it wasn't a white depiction. No allegiance to Rome nor its regions, come out them religion if you want be a free man. Cause the deacons them full of demons, same situation with Rasta with Islam. Only beacon of hope for your lean on is UPK and the General YAHANNA. Every fowl of the ear, every beast of the field, every creeping thing we creep on land, every mouth of the clear, loud and clear. Yeah, our shy Mashiach is a black man who have fear, let him hear. Time to prepare, spiritually separate from Babylon. We no weak, we no fear, we no tear. Bun Saddam, my bun Batman are just part of the nation. Yeah, our shine never come bring peace in start of the vision. Now put your trust in the riches and wealth, guns are ammunition. I just the last statutes and commandments, we make the decision to keep them with precision. Just part of the nation, send evils and curses on the horse sitting on the beast and all churches. America fall, them deserve it. Rome get defeat, history repeat, another first thing. Hey, 400 years they work with, then desert with, then turn round and call we worthless. But now the COVID lurking, them hurting, and they be doctors and nurses. Hey, one day the building have to turn after the long journey. No care much money you a earn if you still want Babylon burn. One day the building have to turn after the long journey. No care much money you a earn. Hey, I just part of the mission. Yeah, our shine never come bring peace in start of the vision. No put your trust in the riches and wealth, guns are ammunition. I just the last statutes and commandments, we make the decision to keep them with precision. I just part of the mission.
That's a bad nice suit. That's a clown suit. That's a costume with a big sign on it that says arrest tags. You understand? You're too loud.
The super producer.
The loudest one in the room is the weakest one in the room. I tell you. Let's get it. I got it. I'm ready, my lord. Whole trick solid. Everybody on board. Say they won't smoke. There's this shit they can't afford. These niggas weak. No cap. I go hard. And I know these niggas mad. I ain't tripping. I'm good. One call and fall on you. Don't make me do it. Everybody niggas taking your city on guard. Look, I got something for all you haters. Dumb thinking is sweet. Get all the flavors. You niggas suckers like you candy coated. Grab the 40, let it blam, reload it. Couple sticks on me, thinking dynamite from that damn explosion. Homie, all I'm saying, you better chill. You think you got the game, you ain't even in the field. You say you wrecked the guy, you ain't even gonna write a will. A Kylie, you didn't make bail before the appeal. I'm war ready, heavy artillery like a Mando. Boots grade camo, feeling fresh out the bando. I'm one west, got a vest, lot of ammo. Big blade, face paint like I'm Rambo. Shit, I make rappers gon' rip their book up. I walk up on you real time with my hood up. Send your ass under with a ladder, it ain't good luck. Let's get it, I got it, I'm ready, my lord. Whole trick solid, everybody on board. Say they won't smoke, there's this shit they can't afford. These niggas weak, no cap, I go hard. And I know these niggas mad, I ain't tripping, I'm good. One call, then fall on you, don't make me do it. Everybody niggas taking your city on guard. Wait a minute, let me check my watch, time to go to work. Bitch, I'm right back, get my bag, about to go berserk. Oh, that nigga left, he a hoe, tell him go to church. Say that they got next, okay, guess I gotta get it first. The 200 I'm on fire, let it burn a bit. Fuck a hoe, cut a bitch off like a tourniquet. Cut them up, nip tuck, then I put them on the bed. Everything I drop, heavy little nigga, watch your head. He ain't walk west, he a fed. I claim a 25th, UPK thoroughbred. Oh, he bad, but I ain't worried about a death day. Nigga, I'm strapped down, put it like a hamstring. Just touched down, finna fly down, take a drop. Touch kick times, gonna be very hard to stay alive. Bitch, we outside, so you know you can't stand there. Said if I go die for this shit, I told him hell yeah. Let's get it, I got it, I'm ready, my lord. Whole click solid, everybody on board. Say they won't smoke, that's the shit they can't afford. These niggas weak, no cap, I go hard. And I know these niggas mad, I ain't tripping, I'm good. One call, then fall on you, don't make me do it. Me and my niggas taking your city on guard. You know if you wasn't my...
Shalom, shalom, Yahweh Bashem El Shai Barakatham to all the brothers, Yahweh Shemar Latham Bashem El Shai to all the sisters. This is the I.S.U.P.K Saturday Night Scripture Breakdown class. We're live on I.S.U.P.K Canada, which is on YouTube. You could also find us on I.S.U.P.K Canada on Facebook. Don't forget, we got a TikTok, we got Instagram with daily posts. You can check both of those out as well. With me, I got Officer 500 Shariwan. Give that brother a hand. Right. I got to my left, Officer 50 Salakia. Officer 500 Shariwan. Salakia, if I got the rank mixed up. To my left, I got Officer 50 Baraki Allah. Right. And we're holding it down for I.S.U.P.K Canada. If you don't know, the oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of, right? Salaki, Officer Shayuan, I think you're on mute. I think I might have muted you earlier. Yeah, you should be too up.
Come.
Right. Now, if you don't know, something the I.S.U.P.K, we've known this for a long time. Our forefathers and foremothers, right? They've known this too when they were going through slavery, that the oppressor, the Caucasian man, the European man and women are the devil that the Bible speaks of, right? And you can just see their cruelty to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It's a cruelty that has no end, right? Now, I myself, I'm not going to try and make friends with a viper, right? It's like the oppressor is like a shark, right? You wouldn't want to swim with a shark, right? Why would you want to be friends with an oppressor? They just make every excuse to, okay, so they kill us at every turn. They destroy us at every chance they get. And when they do it, they make every excuse to justify it, right? What the oppressor is a child. Right, they're not going to take accountability. Salakia. Let me write that down. Right, they're not going to take accountability, and I'm quite sure everyone's been talking about it. Everyone knows what happened. We had brothers and sisters who were murdered in Buffalo, New York. Right. By some devil, by some murderous monster who he wanted to go kill some black people, so he did it. Right. Officer Shayuan, Baba Kashad, can you get me a picture of the rifle that he used? One of the pictures of the rifle that he used.
Come, sir. I'll look for it.
Come. Right. Baraki Allah, you have the first article? Right, you could pull that up.
Come.
He killed us, and when I say us, he killed my brothers and sisters. So it's like he killed me. That's how a righteous man thinks. Right? Now there are so many people, especially the Christian church. Good night. That disgusting whorehouse. They're begging for free. They want forgiveness. Right? They want to forgive this person. Just like they wanted to forgive, what was the other brother who the other devil who went and killed the brothers and sisters in the church?
Dylan Roof.
Right. Even before those 9 brothers and sisters could go into the ground, the Christian church was forgiving Dylan Roof for the massacre that he committed in the church. Right. For the blood of the saints that he spilled in that church. Right. And these things keep happening because we have false leaders who like to keep our people asleep. They like to put a wool over our people's eyes.
Right.
Right? A wool where they tell you that, listen, that deadly poisonous snake over there, it's not so poisonous. It's not so deadly. You can pet it. You can keep it. Right? Now, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, I'm quite sure they know how deadly this snake can be. Right? So we're going to go through some precepts. We're going to read this article about the killing, and we're going to go into showing you that the oppressor is the devil, right? And if you had righteous leaders in your church or the celebrities that you look up to or in your mosque or just in the world in general, if you had righteous leaders, they would tell you that the oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of.
Khan.
Right? We have a righteous leader, right? And he sets up righteous men to go out through the cities. And he takes men who the whole world would view as criminals, as there's no good niggas and spicks, right? He takes them, he teaches them who they are, and sets up these men to go out and bring out the word of the Most High, to teach Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans their culture, right? The reason a lot of brothers are out of the streets, right? Out the game, how you would say it, right? You know what a brother says when he's tired of going to jail. He's tired of selling drugs all his life. He's tired of all the murder, all the violence, all the criminality that has been forced on Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He says, I'm out the game. I'm getting out, y'all. Right? That's what the movie Superfly was about some brother saying he wants to get out the game. He's tired of selling drugs, right? Good night. Now look, Officer Shariwan, keep that right. Thuwadak, you know exactly what I need. Right?
Khan, sir.
Look at the butt of that gun. Right? There is a man who's in the earth who is blessed with the sword. The sword is today is your modern day AR-15. Just look at it. It looks as long as a sword. It cuts down people like a sword, right? And what's that say on the butt of that gun? Here are your reparations. Well, who deserves reparations in the Americas, in the Caribbeans, in the North America? Well, that counts as the Americas, right? The Americas, the Caribbeans, throughout Europe. That would be Blacks, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans of Latin or Negro descent, right? Who went through slavery. Now, that doesn't mean like a white man from Spain, but a so-called Cuban, a so-called Mexican, a so-called Jamaican, right? Salakia, what do they say for Vinci's? Well, I call them Vinci's, right? We call them Vinci's.
Call them Vinci's.
Right, the Bajans. A so-called Bajan, right? You know, the brothers that want to put hot sauce on everything. Salakia, Barack. Good night. That's who deserves reparations, right? And who carried out the crimes that made these brothers and sisters deserve reparations? Well, the same man who wrote, "Here are your reparations" on the butt of this rifle, on the butt of this sword. Right? And this is who your Christian church is telling you to be friends with. Right? And now when we come out and say you shouldn't be friends with a heathen nation because they don't care about you. Right? Really, they're going to kill you. Everyone looks at us like you're crazy, you're racist. Well, I'll let you know, it's a good thing to prefer your own people. right? There is nothing wrong with preferring your own people. All right, so let's get into this article right quick. Officer Barak.
Khan. So the article is titled "What We Know About Buffalo Supermarket Shooting Suspect Peyton Gendron," right? And it reads, it's from CNN, Salakia, and it reads, the 18-year-old man who allegedly shot and killed 10 people.
Salakia. I need that just a little louder, just so everyone in the world can hear. What website is this from?
CNN.
CNN. That is a national news syndicate. It's international as well. It's everywhere that the oppressor runs, right? Now, there is a video, and I'm quite sure they're trying to get this video off the internet, right? But there is a video of his actions. And read that again. This is what CNN said, even though there is a video. And this is why we never get justice for anything, right? Because even when the video shows the police leaning on a man's neck or choking him out and saying, I can't breathe, or his hands are up and they shoot him, they always say allegedly, right? With video proof. There's video proof of this devil murdering our brothers and sisters, murdering our aunties, our uncles, our grandmothers, our grandfathers, right? Read that one more time.
Khan. What we know about Buffalo Supermarket.
You can just go into the
Khan. The 18-year-old man who allegedly shot and killed 10 people Saturday afternoon in Buffalo, New York.
Right. So he shot and killed. We're not even going to say allegedly. He did it. He is guilty. The blood is on his hands. The blood is also on the hands of the Christian church. The blood is on the hands of every black celebrity who has told you you can go and love the white man. You can love your oppressor. Says you can love the devil. Again, nobody wants to swim with a shark. You're not going to go have a pet rattlesnake, right? But they tell you you could love your oppressor. You could forgive him for the murder of your family.
Salakia, one, if I may.
Come.
The blood is also on the hands of Martin Luther King Jr., right? Who fought to integrate us with the devils.
Well, we've seen how that turned out for him.
Right.
Right. And Martin Luther King, that would definitely be the Christian church. That's the Christian church's God, right? That's the Christian church's king. They believe in white Jesus and Martin Luther King, right? And Martin Luther King was a lust-filled bastard who, Salakia, I know Christians are going to be all in your feelings, right? But because of Martin Luther King, we have to say buy black. You can keep reading that article.
Khan was motivated by hate. Authorities said targeting a supermarket in the heart of a predominantly black community.
Right. So he was targeting a supermarket in the heart of a predominantly black community. Right. Now, this man, he's in the Bible. This is something that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we've gone through since the beginning of time. Eve found out who the devil was, right? Officer Shaywan, can you bring me to Genesis, let's say the second verse? Not Salakia, Genesis, the second chapter, right? We got to go through these precepts right quick, right? You could bring up Genesis... What do we want? Genesis, the second chapter. Let's start around. Find me where Eve is talking to the serpent. Right? Now, the Christian church would have you believe that this is a snake. But the last time, let me just ask my brother here, Barak ya Allah, do snakes talk?
La.
My brother, Salakia, if I may.
Khan.
My brother, he has a snake, right? And that thing don't talk at all. Not even when it's hungry. It don't talk. So when the Christian church is telling you that a snake is talking, you got to call cap. Just say cap, right? It's bullshit. That snakes don't talk. Christianity is a drug, and
Right.
it destroys black people. Salakia. Where are we? You can start at Genesis 3 verse 1.
Okay, so it's the book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
Right. So throughout the scriptures, right, beast can be a actual animal, right? Or in this case, it could be a man. And this serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. Okay, so I'm gonna give you an instance, right? I was watching a movie. I like cars. I like to watch cars go fast, right? Most brothers drive fast. If you like cars, you know you might drive fast, right? So I was watching a movie about some Edomites racing, right? And one Edomite, I think this is Matt Damon in the movie, he is a subtle beast, right? To trick the other team to thinking that something is wrong with the car, he takes a nut, right? A nut is something that you put on a bolt to fasten two objects together, right? It would be like the lock, right? So he takes a nut, he walks past the pit crew of the other racing team, and he drops one nut on the ground. The pit crew sees it. They pick up the nut and they start freaking out because they think something is loose in their racer's car, and they start to tell him to slow it down just a little bit. Officer Shaw, you want to read that one more time?
Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
Right. This serpent is the spirit of Esau before Esau was in the earth. Before the man Esau was in the earth, you had this serpent, right? Keep reading.
Which the Lord God had made.
So the Lord God, he made all man, right? He sent Christ and the angels to make men, right? And one of these men was a beast in the field, right? The children of Israel are called lamb. We're so easy to be led by this serpent that is so subtle, right? That's going to trick you and make you think that smoking weed, right, is something that's good for your health. Officer Shaywan, there was a post that you put up earlier. Can you get it? Because this goes along with what we're reading, right?
Okay, sir.
While you get that, I'm going to just finish out what we're reading. And he said unto the woman, yea, has God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. Right now, the Lord basically told Adam, who was the head of Eve, not to do certain things. And this beast, this subtle serpent, right? You know, you call a man that you don't trust a snake. We say it today. You're a snake. I don't want nothing to do with you. A man that tells on his team after committing a crime, you call him a rat, right? A police officer, most black people call them pigs, right? It might change depending on the generation, but there was a time when black people called police officers pigs. Right? Now, as Officer Shaywan read, the serpent was more subtle. Let's read what this says. Abortion is self-care. And good effing night, excuse my French. Who is on that billboard? A sister, a bunch of sisters, right? And they're saying that abortion is self-care, when abortion is the murder of a living being, right? This oppressor's kingdom, it's just based off murder. That's how it was established. You just go outside and ask the natives. Ask the tribe of Gad how they got America. Listen, go to Australia and ask the Aborigines, right? I think those are the Japhites. Ask the Japhites who used to have Australia, how did the Brits get Australia? And they'll tell you through murder, right? But according to our oppressor, to this serpent, abortion is self-care. Now this is subtle trickery, right? Because
Right.
what they don't tell you is abortion kills. Now I'm gonna hit you with the kicker, right? How can you be mad that an oppressor went into a supermarket and murdered 10 black people? How can you be mad if you support abortion when abortion kills 300 to 400,000 black people in America alone? And we're not even going to add in the numbers in Canada, the numbers in the UK, wherever black people are.
Salaki, I don't know if I may.
Come.
They're talking about abortion is self-care. Well, I have this from the Colorado Springs Pregnancy Center, right?
Right.
Talking about the side effects of abortion, which can include bleeding for 3 weeks or more, swelling of lips or face, cramping, pain, vomiting, chills, dizziness, fatigue, infection, back pain, and other complications, right? So how is that self-care?
Not to mention the mental
Right.
complications that a sister is going to go through after she murders her child because the oppressor said it was okay. Right? Officer Shaw, you can get rid of that, Baba Kashaw. Right? According to the oppressor, abortion is self-care. This is a subtle beast. Right? Salakia. Can you continue with the article?
Khan, give me 1 second. I don't want.
Khan. Officer Shayuan, find in this story of Genesis when after the Lord finds out what happens when he tells the oppressor that Salakia, trying to word it right? Basically, when Eve's seed is going to Salakia. I'm just trying to find it. 1 second. It's because I can't word it.
The other one when Eve's seed will be at enmity with
Right. That was the word I was looking for. Through water, priest.
Oh, sir.
You could find that. Hold that, because that's what we need. Right. We're just gonna go through some precepts to let you know this is something that's been going on for centuries, for thousands of years. It's nothing new. If your pastor knew how to break down scriptures and knew how to read the Bible and he had discernment, you would be able to know that the oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of. I say it all the time. It makes my teeth whiter. What do you got for me, Brock?
Khan. So the article, it keeps reading, right?
Right.
11 of the 13 people shot by the white suspect at the Tops Friendly Market were black. Officials said, among the victims who ranged in age from 20 to 86 were people grocery shopping.
Read that again.
Among the victims who ranged in age from 20 to 86 were people grocery shopping.
Right. So you can't even go out and get something to eat. Officer Shayuan, get me Lamentations when you get a chance. Just hold it. You don't have to get it right now, but just try to remember that I need that when you get a chance, right? I need our Officer Shayuan. It's all right. Barak, get me Lamentations. Officer Shayuan, continue reading what you what I needed you to bring out.
Come, sir. This is Genesis chapter 3 and verse 15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed.
Right. This is something that your pastor should have told you. There's enmity between the oppressor and the children of Israel, right? Because the woman's seed is the children of Israel, right? And the serpent's seed is the so-called Edomite, your so-called white American male that goes into a grocery store with a machine built for war, to murder people who just trying to get some formula.
Right.
Somebody who's just trying to get some flour, some eggs, right? Just a little bread. They just wanted a little bread, right? Now, in the ISUPK, we seen this coming, right? We seen this coming. We know this is coming. Here's the other part. We know more of it's going to happen. And we're trying to tell Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you have to get away from the culture of the Americas and love each other. If we loved each other, we would have had our own supermarket to go to.
Right.
Right? There would have been someone on Shamar. So when that devil comes in off the rip, we would have seen him. You can't drive into a listen, you wouldn't even have been able to drive into our shop, our supermarket. We would have seen, what is that? An oppressor? Okay, we're profiling you right away.
Right.
We're profiling you just like they do us. Here's the kicker. A lot of times they profile Black people who are innocent. We know there is no oppressor that's innocent.
La.
Because, Barack, read the top of that article again.
The 18-year-old man who allegedly shot and
Hold
killed.
that right there. There are no innocent oppressors because they know that oppressor murdered people, and they say allegedly. They're guilty too.
Kind of a con.
Right? Salakia, who had a precept for me?
Me, I want to have Lamentations chapter 4, verse 18.
You could read that?
Khan. Lamentations chapter 4, verse 18. They hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets.
Hold that. Read that part of the article again about the 20 to 18, the 20 to 85.
Among the article, right? Among the victims who range in age from 20 to 86 were people grocery shopping.
Hold that. Read Lamentations 4 and 18 again.
Lamentations chapter 4, verse 18. They hunt our steps.
They hunt our goddamn steps. Now we cannot go grocery shopping. And this is your pastor's fault.
Right.
This is all your fake leaders' fault. Everybody you look up to that's not in the UPK. And when we go in the streets and tell you about the crimes, they say, get these Power Rangers over here, out of here. Right? They put up pictures of us on social media and say, look at what they're wearing. They look like they're out of Mortal Kombat. Well, Salakia, don't be angry now because some oppressor went and killed our people. We've been telling you to get away from our people and to show love to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because this is the only thing that the oppressor can do. Right? Salakia, that's all we need for the Lamentations. You just have to know they've been hunting our steps. That was the book of Lamentations. That's well over 1,000 years ago. Why didn't your pastor tell you this? Why didn't your Nation of Islam, who likes to quote out of the Bible, tell you this?
Right.
Keep reading that article, Baba Kasha.
Khan. Among the victims who range in age from 20 to 86 were people grocery shopping. A heroic former police officer who tried to stop the gunman, a long-term substitute teacher, and a taxi driver who took pride in helping people.
Now, listen. That's just a lot of innocent bloodshed, right? Now, this is the only thing we can say is the Most High he's pleading with Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He's trying to wake you up. Sadly, a lot of our people are still asleep. They're still out partying right now. I took a walk down the street, right? I'm in Montreal. Where are we at, Brock?
We're in NDG right now.
Right. They call it the place that we're at. They say is no damn good. That's the acronym, NDG, no damn good. And I walk outside and I see my brothers and sisters just lost.
Right.
Looking like zombies. Right. For the people watching, through water for tuning into class tonight, you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you found the truth. Right. like, subscribe, and share the class. Smash that like button, because like my big brother, Officer 5000 of Bond said, this class is sponsored by the like button. Smash it. Right? Salakia, you could keep reading.
Khan. This was pure evil, Erie County Sheriff John Garcia said, calling the shooting a straight up racially motivated hate crime from somebody outside of our community.
Right. This again, you're whoever you look up to, don't look up to them. If they're not in the UPK, do not look up to them. You're killing your people. You're dying. We're literally dying because of the people we look up to.
Salakia, if I may. Not only that this devil pleaded guilty, right? But the Christian church will tell you, just like Dylan Roof, forgive him. You understand? Show forgiveness to this evil bastard, right? But him himself said that he intentionally did that. He didn't snap or anything, right? He planned on killing black people. He was like in Lamentations 4:18 said, he was hunting us. You understand? And he came out with two big ass rifles to hunt down our people in our community, right? He actually planned that, and we still think. And he said himself that he doesn't have any mental issues. He was perfectly sane, and we still think that not all white people are bad, right?
Good night. Listen, a viper is a viper. I'm not swimming with a shark. Regardless of if I have a cut on my finger or not, I'm not swimming with a shark. Right? A scorpion is not my friend. Now, Salakia, I might have to go get a pet wolf because I'm from the tribe of Benjamin, but Salakia.
Oh,
right. But check this out. This, what Officer Barak just brought out, he's saying the oppressor said he was in the right mind, right state of mind.
Right.
Everybody else is going to say he was mentally disturbed. Right? And we're going to get into that. Officer Shayuan, can you continue reading the precept you had?
Okay. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
Right. Now, this is the Lord talking to the serpent, right? Where he's letting the serpent know that the upper class of you is going to fight the lower class of Eve's seed, right? And this is what happens, right? A brother gets gunned down by the police. We, as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, us being the heel, because we're at the lower class in this oppressor's kingdom, and that's by design, right? While the Most High and the angels and the Most High Christ and the angels look at us as the upper class. We're just messed up because we're children that disobeyed, and just like every parent, you're gonna discipline your child,
right?
So when a brother gets murdered in the street, we go out being the heel and we go smash a Walmart and grab a TV, right? We wanna plead to the head of Esau's kingdom, right? This is something that it's biblical what we go through. Salakia. Where were we? We're in verse 14.
15. End of 15, sir.
All right, you could drop that. Jump to chapter 25, Baba Shah. Keep reading the article.
Khan. The U.S. Department of Justice is investigating the shooting as a hate crime and an act of racially motivated violent extremism.
Just call it what it is: terrorism.
Khan.
Right? They have to just drag it out. Our oppressor, he likes to drag everything out. This is goddamn terrorism. The same terrorism we've been going through. When the famous boxer, right? There was a boxer. I did a class on him. His name is Jack something. His last name is skipping me for a second. But he was a famous boxer in the time. This not too long after slavery, right? But him being like every athlete, every black athlete, and everybody the black people look up to, he went and got some white women. But that's not the point, right? He was beating the brakes off Edomites in the boxing arena.
So lock y'all one.
Jack Johnson, the water priest, right? He was beating the brakes off Edomites. They hated it. He beat up their heavyweight champion that they thought no nigger could beat up.
Khan.
They did the Red Summer. Just Google it, Salakia. You don't even have to go far. Just go through the UPK videos on this channel. You'll see one of my history classes. It's about the Red Summer. It's about the riots that they did for a whole summer, killing black people because one black man beat up. One black man beat up a white man. And he was just destroying them. Right? And this is what always happens. Our oppressors hate us. Right? Salakia, you were still reading?
Khan. So the U.S. Department of Justice is investigating the shooting as a hate crime and an act of racially motivated violent extremism, according to Attorney General Merrick Garland. And Salakia, before I keep reading, if I may, Adawan,
Khan.
They're saying they're investigating as if they were looking for clues. When he published himself his manifesto online, right?
Khan.
Detailing what he was about to do and his ideology and everything. He live streamed himself with a body camera on his helmet, right, to the streaming platform Twitch. You understand? I mean, like, what is there to look for? And he admitted himself everything like he was doing.
Wait, Salakia. Run that again. You say he live streamed himself on Twitch?
Khan.
Doing the shooting?
Khan. That's where the video comes from. It came from Twitch, but probably like 2 minutes after the live stream, Twitch had to remove the video, right, from their platform.
Good night. That's what the oppressor calls death porn.
Khan.
Right? Now, that is basically... I'm going with that video had a bunch of streams, right? The Edomites love that shit. They want to see. That was basically a bat signal. You know how like when Gotham City was under attack and the police chief, what was the police chief? Harvey Dent. He would go put the bat signal in the air and Batman would appear out of nowhere and then go fight some crime. That's what that was. That was a call to all white supremacy.
It's a lockout one, if I may again. Like you say, it was a call for all white supremacy, right? And the police said they're trying to remove the manifesto because it would be like a call to take action from other white, terrorists, I guess, right? But in his manifesto, he said it himself that when he saw what Dylan Roof did in the church, right? That was a call to take up arms for him. So that was like a wake up call, a call to take action, right?
Salakia, listen, the greatest white supremacy manifesto that is out is the Constitution.
Khan.
When it talks about black people being what was it? Less than a man, 1/4 of a man, or some bull crap like that.
Khan.
Right? Or the American national anthem that they were singing while black people were enslaved, right? Just everything about America is a manifesto against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? When the police were saying a thin blue line or blue lives matter, that was a call to action for white supremacy. And what did we see? All we seen was more black people being murdered on camera, right? What else you got in that article?
Peyton S. Gendron of Conklin, New York, has been charged with first-degree murder, Erie County District Attorney John Flynn said in a Saturday news release. He has pleaded not guilty, and more charges are expected. Gendron's defense attorney told CNN on Tuesday he will not issue a statement now. Here's what we know about the suspect, Salakia. He planned to continue his rampage, police say. When the suspect arrived at the store around 2:30 p.m., he was heavily armed, wearing tactical gear, including a tactical helmet along with plated armor.
Salakia. And now the question is, where did he get all this stuff? Right? If I'm not mistaken, he was investigated for either saying something hateful on social media. It was something towards that, right? See if you can find that, Barack.
I'm on that.
Right. Officer Shah, you want Bubba Kasha. Can you read while Barack Allah finds what I'm talking about? Can you read Genesis 25 and 23 to 26 and break that down? I gotta step off 1 quick second.
Khan, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. Right? This is the Most High, right? Letting Rebekah know that 2 nations are inside of you. You understand? You're pregnant. Rebekah went to inquire of the Most High, to inquire of the Lord, right? And the Most High let her know there's 2 nations that are inside of you. Right? It goes on to say, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. Not only are there 2 nations of people that came out of Rebekah's womb, right? Esau and Jacob, but these 2 children had 2 different mannerisms, right? 2 manner of people. Your manner is your mannerisms, how you act, the way you think, the way you operate, the way you treat people, the way you conduct yourself. Jacob and Esau, even though we're brothers, we are 2 very different people. And you see that today. You see the compassion of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But this beast that's over us, he has no compassion. He is not the same. I remember growing up, I grew up in an area that was predominantly white. And in that area, I remember always thinking, like, there's something off about these people. They just act different. You understand? And growing up, all my friends were Israel. All my friends were from the tribe of Benjamin. All my friends were Judites, because I understood there was something different about those people. And that's biblical. That's right out of the Bible. These 2 people, these 2 nations have 2 different mannerisms.
Right.
Right? It says, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people. You understand? Again, growing up, who was winning every single 100-meter race, every 200-meter race, every 400-meter race? Who was winning high jump, long jump? Who was the best fighters? Who was the best basketball players? Who was the best singers? Who were the best dancers? It was always our people, because we are stronger than them. You understand? That's right from the Bible. It says, and the elder shall serve the younger. Verse 24, and when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. You understand? Even though we're twins, like it says, we are not the same. Verse 25, and the first came out red all over like an hairy garment.
Right.
And something that was interesting, I remember having a conversation with my son the other day, and he came home and he was telling me about this person from school that was white. And I said, la son. Salakia. I don't know who told you that they're white, because I don't know one white man on the face of the earth.
Right.
You understand? These people are red. They're not white. You can see the blood just oozing through their skin.
Right.
You understand? And this is right from the Bible. and they called his name Esau, and that's who the so-called white man is today. You understand? And we don't got a problem in the I.S.U.P.K because of the color of his skin. We got a problem with this devil because of the way he acts, because of his mannerisms,
the
way he treats the children of Israel. Because he went over to Buffalo, New York, and gunned down all these different Israelites at a grocery store. You understand? Those are the mannerisms of Esau. What does the Bible say? He's a cunning hunter. You understand what Barak Ya'al is reading right now? And Salak and what Officer Zabaj is bringing out, this man came in with tactical gear. He had tactical gear, all his different military gear, right? His rifle. He is a cunning hunter. He knows how to hunt. And those are the characteristics of this wicked bastard, Salakia. Is that all you want me to break down, other one?
No problem, right? And I couldn't have said that better. I couldn't have said that any better myself, right? The reason why Officer Sharyuan is able to read that so perfectly and break it down so perfectly and teach his sons not to trust these oppressors is because of men like Commanding General YAHANNA.
Right.
Right? A righteous leader, a righteous father, right? Who taught us that we're supposed to come together. We're supposed to put away all the evil that we've been doing in the world and beg the Lord for forgiveness, change, right? Keep his law and love each other, right? And that's how we're able to know that this oppressor is a devil.
Salakia, other one.
Okay.
If I may, what you're bringing out is so heavy. In that, something I've learned from the men above me, like this Bible is so poetic. This Bible is the truth and nothing but the truth of all the things going on in the world, right? And if I may just read one more line in verse 26, it says, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. And what Officer Zabadia brought out earlier in Genesis chapter 3 and verse 15, right? It had said that, Salakia, just paraphrasing that, something about the younger shall bruise his heel, right?
Right.
And what Officer Zabadia is bringing out, like this, that serpent that was there speaking to Eve that day, that snake, that devil, you understand? He has come back on the earth through the nation of Esau.
Right.
And it takes a spiritual man to understand these things. Salakia.
No sweat, because Officer Sharyuan, now I need you to read verse 27. Salakia. You got it, priest.
Come on, sir. Verse 27. And the boys grew.
That article we're talking about.
And Esau was a cunning hunter.
Hold that right there. He was what, Officer Sharyuan?
A cunning hunter.
Now pause. A lover? I'll put a pause first, right? Read that one more time.
A cunning hunter.
A good friend.
A cunning hunter.
A righteous man.
A cunning hunter.
A saint.
A cunning hunter.
Damn, none of the things I said apply to Esau. That is crazy. Barak Ya'ala, what do you got?
Oh, you mean one about tactical gear?
No. What was he doing in the store? Like, read this part right again, right here.
This one, right?
Yeah.
11 of the 13 people shot by the white suspect at the Tops Friendly Market were black.
Right. 11 of the 13 people shot were black. Esau, he's a hunter. He went hunting.
Oh.
He was playing Call of Duty. Right? That's what he was doing. He was firing live rounds into the children of Israel. Right? Esau's been a cunning hunter. And this is how we're finding out who the devil the Bible speaks of is. Right? The deceiver. The snake that says, I'm your friend. Right? Now, what is Salakia? Nah, any of the priests can answer this, right? What is the common thing that Edomites say when you call them racist?
Salakia, I want they
Khan.
say I have a black friend.
Right, right.
God.
I can't be racist because I have a black friend.
I cannot be racist because I have a black friend, right? Now that is such deception, right?
Right.
And the pastor says God loves everybody, right? Adding more deception to what is going on. You could drop that article, Barack, and bring up the article where the parents are talking about this murderer.
Khan.
Right.
Also, I have the article he asked for about him being investigated for a message he posted online.
Bring that first.
Khan.
Officer Shariwan, you already know. You got any precepts you want to bring out that apply? Bring them. Don't hesitate, Doc.
Khan, sir.
So this is from the Washington Post. Buffalo shooting suspect wrote of plans 5 months ago, message show. Peyton Gendron, the 18-year-old accused of killing 10 people at a supermarket in Buffalo on Saturday, wrote in increasing detail of his plans to murder dozens of black people in the statements posted online over the past 5 months, according to a compilation of messages by a writer who identified himself as Gendron. A review of more than 600 pages of messages by the Washington Post found that Gendron resolved in December to kill those he slurred as replacers. And Salakia, one, if I may, real quick, why he called them replacers? Because there's a theory called the replacement theory, right? I'm gonna pull that up right now. 1 second. It's called the Great Replacement, also known as the replacement theory, which is a white nationalist far right conspiracy theory, right?
Right.
Okay, and basically it's saying this, right? That white people are not reproducing fast enough, and they're gonna be replaced by other minorities. You understand? And
Salakia. Now, this is a story. What now? Give Barack Allah a hand, my nigga. He bringing it out heavy tonight, right? So first he found exactly what I needed, and then he brought out some other stuff I didn't even know about. That what I do know is Esau sets traps such as drugs
right.
in the black community. And then the daughters and the sons and daughters of Edom, they buy up all the drugs that the niggas are selling, right? Esau sets up abortion clinics for the black community, right? Margaret Sanger was one of the founders of the American Birth Control League that would force sterilization on children, black men, and black women. Salaki if it's out of rank and order, right? But she would force sterilization on black people, right? Then they made Planned Parenthood, and now the daughters of Edom go to Planned Parenthood as well. And the Lord being just, knows that he's pissed off at what Edom has been doing to us. They've been taking it too far. He said, you know what? Them white hoes, they're not going to be able to have children anymore. Their birth rates are slowing down. Barack Yala, you can continue.
So like I was saying, basically this theory is like they fear they're going to be replaced by the minorities, right? And because they don't reproduce as fast as us, you understand? And even in his manifesto, he was bringing out the fact that black people are reproducing at a faster rate than Caucasian people.
Give that a hand. Give that a hand. As I always bring out, right? There's a baby boom in the UPK.
Right.
Right. You can keep bringing that up.
So basically, that's what the replacement theory is, right? It's just really like the fear of white people becoming extinct. You understand? Because we reproduce too fast. You understand? Whether it's the niggers, the spics, or the savages, right? Other words that they call black, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we reproduce faster than them, and they don't reproduce as fast. So they really fear that they're going to be replaced. like the white gene is dying down, basically. You understand?
Good night. So that's the replacement
The replacement theory,
theory,
right? Or great
right?
replacement.
The great replacement that, listen, there's such a phrase. Mexicans are taking our jobs. Good night. The things that these Edomites come up with to justify the murder of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You could keep reading the main article.
Right. So the Washington Post, like it, Gengen resolved in December to kill those he slurred as replacers, and decided in February to target Buffalo Stop's grocery store based on its local African American population. In March, he performed a reconnaissance style trip to monitor the store's security and map out its aisles, the messages show.
Right. So he planned out a reconnaissance trip, right? That's recon.
Right. So like he was scoping it out.
He was scoping it out. That he went to go scope out soft targets, people that aren't gonna fire a shot back at him, right? And this coward, right? This Pussy, Salakia for my French, right? He decided to go kill old people, right? This is something that we went through with Amalek when we were coming out of Egypt, right? And as we go through the rest of these precepts, Lord allow I get through all these precepts tonight, we're going to show you that this is something that they've always done, right? All right, check this out. Commanding General YAHANNA, he's live right now, blackwatch.news, right? Or which is the website, Blackwatch News. I dropped the link in the chat. You can click on it. You can copy and paste it. Go check it out. It's in YouTube. You could always come back to us, right? But run up the numbers on Blackwatch News. Right. Hit that like, smash that like button. That tape is all, that live stream right now is also sponsored by the like and subscribe button, right? So make sure you go check it out. Salakia, is there any? You can keep reading.
In March, Salakia.
Wait, Salakia. What I wanted to, the reason I brought this, I wanted to bring this out, right, is because he was being investigated already.
Right.
Right. So this is law enforcement's problem. They knew he wanted to go kill some black people.
Right.
They did nothing about it. They let it happen. Just like they know the Ku Klux Klan wants to go out and kill black people, and they've become more subtle in their actions. They're still doing it. Now they just do it with a badge, right? And they do nothing. Again, a devil can't cast out a devil. So you're not getting any justice there. You're not getting any justice from any cop watch organization. You're not going to defund the police. Black Lives Matter is not going to help you. They're buying mansions and having lesbian sex, right? They're not going to help you. So what do you have to do to get help? Well, you got to look for a higher power. You got to do what every priest, every sister is doing in the ISUPK, right? Every priest, every young man, came home, and they're pleading for help from the Most High, and they know the only way the Most High is going to help us is if we turn back to Him. Right? You can keep reading.
Right, and this next part of the article, right, which I'm going to bring out just now, is linked to what you said before, right? If the UPK was in charge at that time, we would have someone on Shamar and would have profiled him, and that would have never happened, right?
Right.
So the next part of the article, it reads, when a store guard confronted him about why he had repeatedly entered that day, Gendron made excuses and fled in what he described as a close call, the messages state. So like he went in multiple times to scope it out, right? And the security guard just found it suspicious, but he didn't really act on it. He only asked him, why are you coming in and out multiple times? You understand? If it was the UPK from the get-go, we see that devil trying to come into our grocery store, we would have profiled him. We would have searched him out. would have made sure, like, why are you even doing in this area in the first place? You
Right.
understand?
Listen, there used to be a time when a white man couldn't walk through a black neighborhood without being suspicious.
Right.
Right. Now, may the brothers and sisters who lost their life rise again.
Khan.
Right.
They had bad leadership. Right. Because Barak just brought out how the devil came in all suspicious. And when confronted, he ran. And no one said anything. The police knew this man wanted to kill black people. No one said anything. No one took any action. Right. Officer Shaywan, can you jump to chapter 27, Baba Kasha?
Khan.
And hold 39 and 27. Right. That's it for the investigation part that we needed?
Almost out of one. Salak, yeah. It reads, having identified the supermarket as attack area 1, Gendron detailed 2 additional Buffalo locations as areas at which to shoot all blacks. That's what it quotes, right? According to the messages, which showed that he had charted routes to each location, worked out the times needed for each shootout, and assessed that more than 36 people fatally shot.
Again, Genesis 25 and 27 says Esau is a cunning hunter. This is what Barak just brought out. You could drop that article and bring me to the article where the parents are trying to basically say he's a good boy, not my baby, right? You know how it goes. Not my baby. My baby can never do that. Not Billy. Billy's a good child.
Salakia, not Peyton.
Right, not Peyton or Ken, or you just insert devil name here. Right? That's really what it is. Insert devil name here. Right? Officer Shaywan, you could read.
Salakia, other one. Was it chapter 27 and verse 39?
Khan.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
Salakia. You're at 39 or?
Khan, sir.
39. 1 second. I'm just trying to catch up with you. Jump down to 40.
Khan.
Right? For contents, this is Isaac, right? Letting Esau know what your blessing will be since you did the Salakia. You did the oppressor thing, and you just didn't give a damn about what you had until it was gone. Right? So now that he's crying and he wants his blessing, this is how we know who the oppressor is.
Right.
The greatest thing about our history book right here, right? Because this is the Black, Hispanic, and Native American history book. Aside from what everyone else believes, it's a book about everybody. It's not about everybody. It's about the children of Israel and the things that we're going to go through, right? Just like Chuck Berry made rock and roll, and they said Elvis is the king of rock and roll, a black man made this. And they said, well, this is a Edomite book. And silly black people believed it. Because their silly pastors that they believed in sold them a lie and told them, I'm a righteous man, while he turned around and slept with your wife and then sent the offering plate out. Officer Shaywan, you can read.
Genesis 27 and verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live.
Officer Shaywan, what is the modern day sword?
Salakia, the one, the gun.
Right. Officer Shaywan, if you're Salakia, now I'm not directly speaking to you, but what Officer Shaywan brought up earlier, right? He brought out a picture of the gun, right? And it looks like a sword, right? You got little daggers that you can fit in your pocket and other swords that you can strap around your shoulder and go into supermarkets and gun down black people with, And they're just going to turn around and say, not Billy, he was mentally disturbed. Good night. Your pastor never told you that? Your pastor never told you that the oppressor hates you? Officer Shariwan, you can keep reading.
And by thy sword shalt thou live.
And by the sword shalt thou live. Our oppressor lives by the sword. He uses the sword to gun down Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's how he got America, Canada, and all of Europe. You could drop that. Yeah, you could drop that. You could drop that right there. Barack Allah, can you bring out the other article that we needed?
Wakan, this from the Daily Mail. Buffalo shooter's family claim he murdered 10 people due to COVID.
wait. Nah, Salakia, I'm not trying to laugh, right? It's just Salakia, man. When you see the pain of your folks and your people, sometimes the only thing you can do is go to camp and get that pain out. And
right.
Listen, oh man, I don't even know what to say at this moment because, well, I know exactly what I'm going to say, but that's just an expression, right? I always know what I'm going to say. I got a lot to say. I could talk for 4 hours if you let me, right? Read that one more time.
Canada Wakan and Salak, if I may, just before I read that again, it goes just like you said. White people, the Caucasian, the devil on this earth, right? It cannot take account, being accountable for anything they commit, whether it was slavery, whether it's the police murdering us in the streets, right? Whether it's deporting our Hispanic brothers across the border, you understand? Whether it's whipping our Haitian brothers at the border, you understand? They don't take accountability for nothing.
And Salakia, just to add on to what you're saying, right? Officer Shayuan, get me children are oppressors, Baba Kasha.
Come.
Right, and if you're holding anything else for me, you could just hold it. But children are oppressors, right? Barack Allah said our oppressor cannot take accountability. Children don't take accountability.
Right.
It's not a child's nature to take accountability.
Right.
A child wants to play video games and wants to run up and down. They want to draw on the walls and jump on the couch. Right? They want to play around in the living room, break the vase, and still ask you for a popsicle 10 minutes later.
Right.
It's not a child's nature to want to take accountability. And that's the nature of our oppressor. There is no accountability. You cannot tell them they're wrong. You cannot say you've murdered Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? By the millions, damn near into the billions, right? It's damn near into the billions. And then turn around and Salakia, let me just get it all together, right? I'm gonna get it all together right quick for you. Our oppressor doesn't take accountability. We bring out their crimes and they say, "La, it wasn't me." No, Mr. Nigger, I did not do that. That was my forefather. I just reap the benefits and drive this fancy Porsche. I'm just able to walk around Montreal with a cup of liquor in my hand while you sit and tell me the crimes of my peoples, and I'm just gonna act like I did nothing. Let me just wipe the blood off my hands real quick. Right? Keep reading.
Salak, y'all the one. If I may, I have a scripture for that, right?
Khan, bring out the article first.
Kana Wakan.
And then hold that scripture. You can bring it out right after.
Kana Wakan. So Buffalo shooter's family claim he murdered 10 people due to COVID. Relatives say suspect 18 snapped at supermarket because of his paranoia and isolation during the pandemic.
Salakia, so he was just able to snap, and it was COVID's fault. Salakia, bring out that precept in 1 second, Barack. Right? He was just able to I'm tired of being locked in my house. I gotta kill black people. And black people, we've been suffering for 1,000 years. So now, based off what the parents said, now RCMP, FBI, all the police organizations who are watching this, I am not telling black people to go out and commit crime. In the ISUPK, we do not commit crime. We stop black people from committing crime.
Right.
But based off of what the parents are saying, black people have every right to go out and just kill all the Edomites.
Right.
Because we've been suffering. Little white boy can't suffer for 2 years without murdering 10 black people. So that means divided by 20, multiply it by 1 billion, carry the 1. We should just listen. All white people should just go into slavery, right? We should just be out there just going gun ho and just murdering them.
Right.
But because we're under command in General YAHANNA and we study the Holy Bible, our history book, we know all we have to do is keep the law and be patient. Go and sin no more and be patient.
Right.
And the Most High is going to give us justice. Justice is the Lord's. We don't have to do anything. We just have to love each other, right? Listen, I've been spending some time with my brother because I've missed him so much, right? And he's just been an excellent brother to me.
That's why I encourage.
Showed me so much brotherhood, right? Give Barack Allah a hand. Right, but no, as I was saying, Salakia, bro, you bring out your precept, man. Because listen, I'm gonna talk forever. Y'all don't stop me. I'm gonna talk forever.
Wakan. So, like we're saying, right? They cannot take accountability for nothing. And like you said, they said, well, it wasn't me. It was my forefather, right? Well, guess what the Bible has to say about that? This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 21. Prepare slaughter.
Ooh, wee.
Right, for his children, for the iniquity of their forefathers. Now, for those who don't know what iniquity is, it's a sin, a transgression of the law, right? It's a crime being committed. You understand? And it says to prepare slaughter for the children, for the crimes of their fathers. You understand? So, to any Caucasian out that might be out here even watching this class, we never know. But to any other Caucasian saying, well, it wasn't me. It was probably my great-grandfather who had you in slavery, right? Well, it's actually going to pay for the sins of your fathers, just like we paid for the sins of our forefathers.
Right.
Right. And now, if I could add on, right? Because the Christian church is so carnal, because our oppressor is so carnal, again, we're not talking about going out and committing crime.
Right.
Because guess what? Murder is wrong. Right? But the Most High is going to judge the heathen nations for their crimes. The slaughter that we're preparing is what we're doing right now. We're in class preparing this slaughter.
Right.
We're teaching black people to get off drugs. We're teaching. Now, listen, I'm gonna just give it to you the Benjamite way. We're teaching sisters to not dash with their belly.
Right.
Meaning, don't go and have abortions. Right. And in the famous righteous words of Captain Salakia, Captain 13,000 Akkad Abarayam, right? That baby soul belonged to the Lord. How dare you abort it?
Right.
Who gave you the right to do that? Right? And if you support abortion, just listen, you should have just dropped dead a long time ago.
Right.
You want to kill something, just drop dead. We'll just forget about you. We don't care. We're not going to care. You want to be a murderer like the oppressor, right? You want to be a murderer like the Ku Klux Klan and kill black people. Listen, we'll just forget about you. We'll just leave you where you are. Go somewhere in the forest and just stop eating. Salakia. But check it out. Officer Sharyuan, you could bring on that precept?
Come. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 3 and verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them.
Right. Our oppressors are children. This man, he couldn't deal with the fact that the Edomite women don't want him. Right. The daughters of Zion for sure don't want him. Right? He was, what do they call them? An incel, an oppressor that Salakia. I'm trying to say it the best way, but I could only give you the raw sometimes, right? An oppressor that doesn't have sex. Salakia. How do I say this, right? Now, they call them incels because they're celibate. They don't practice celibacy, but no one wants to have sex with them, so they're celibate. And all that rage builds up. He wants to go to war, right? But he doesn't have a rib to go to war with in the bedroom.
So
Right.
I have the definition of incel.
Con.
Incel, a member of an online community of young men who consider themselves unable to attract women sexually.
Good night. That's it. That's all we need. We don't even need the more of that. Like it's pretty basic. Listen, the brothers in the UPK, we don't go through that issue. Some of us have 1, some of us have 10. Most High in Christ, right? But we ain't going through that, right? And that's how the Lord wants it. If you only want 1, just go get 1. Just know that you have to keep that sister.
Right.
You have to raise her up. You have to protect her. Even if she burns your car up and throws a brick through it, take her to counsel.
Right.
You got to keep her. You got to love her. Because guess what? You're going to have a daughter. And what you do to your sisters, someone's going to do to your daughter. You don't want someone climbing behind your daughter and throwing her away. Don't do it to a sister.
Right.
Straight up. That's the only way we can say it, right? But our children are oppressors. And this young man, this devil, he couldn't deal with the fact that he was locked down for 2 years. Well, Black people, we've been in the hands of the oppressor for over 100 years, right? And I'm just giving you the simple number of it. Is just say a fat round 100, right? It's been more than 500, but I'm just going to say a fat round 100. And he couldn't deal with 2, so he decided to just go murder Black people.
Salaki, I don't know if I may.
Con.
It's not that he couldn't deal with 2 years. That's just an excuse
Right.
that his family is bringing out to say, well, my son is not crazy, or my son was just stressed out, right?
Right. And that's the excuse they always bring. Officer Shariwan, Bubba Shah, get me Deuteronomy 28 and 49.
Come on.
You got any more of that article?
Khan, that's just the beginning of it, right?
Oh, it's just the beginning. Good night. Let's find out what else do these oppressors have to say, right? Because they're not going to take accountability that you raised a monster. He was under investigation. Nah, listen. His parents should get hit with the RICO.
Khan.
Keep reading.
Khan, Salakia. Family members of the Buffalo shooting suspect said they believe the pandemic and its enforced isolation took its toll on the shooter's mental health, which ultimately led to last weekend's horrific actions.
Wait. So they've isolated the Black community financially. Should we go out and do something crazy now? Because they've isolated us for centuries. Keep reading.
So, like, I wonder if I may, before I keep reading,
Come on.
they said it had like damage. It took its toll on the shooter's mental health, right? Well, don't like white people being stressed out. Don't they just do drugs or kill themselves usually?
That's what they want you to believe, right?
Right.
White people being stressed out, they go get a badge and a gun.
They
drive around NDG and murder a brother at a bus stop who's having a mental breakdown. Right? White people who are stressed out, they go put on a white shirt and they cut up a white sheet with holes and they go throw a Molotov cocktail in a church.
Right.
When white people are stressed out that they can't have any babies, they turn around and say, listen, we can't have any babies no more. Let's just go murder some Black people.
Right.
Which is interestingly enough, because now that Roe versus Wade is backfiring, they want to get rid of it. Right. But when Black women were killing their babies because they wanted to go to college and not get the job, like these simple sisters, right? And let's give a hand to all the sisters who let their husband lead, who follow a righteous man, right?
Right.
And all the sisters that are in the UPK, right? Because now I said it just like that because there's some sisters who they might not be in the school, but their husbands are, and they let that man lead, right? Let's give them a hand because there are simple sisters in the world who say, I need to abort this baby so I can go to college, right? I need to abort this baby so I could become the police chief.
Right.
Good man.
Right? Well, listen, the sisters in the school, they're not doing that. The sisters who follow a righteous man of the I.S.U.P.K are not doing that. They're responsible for the baby boom. They're bringing out more princesses and more priests, right? Yearly. You can keep reading.
Wakan. So, yeah, 1 second. Peyton Gendron, 18, is accused of murdering 10 people in a racist hate crime after firing a barrage of 50 shots at the supermarket.
Barrage of 50 shots. He had that 50 clip, right? Isn't that what all the rappers are rapping about? The 50 round drum?
Wakan.
Right? And shooting into crowds of black people, trying to be an oppressor, trying to be a gangster, when the greatest gangster that ever walked the earth is the oppressor.
Salakia, if I may, I don't want he literally like wet them up, as we say, right?
Right. Like it's terrible.
He turned on his gun on fully automatic.
Listen, that oppressor, he hopped out before he even jumped out the car. That thing was going off. And he was excellent with it because Esau was blessed with the sword.
Right.
Right. And the Salakia, it wasn't the generals and the captains. It was either the generals or the captains, but they were bringing it out about how Esau be killing as young as 4 years old. You know how traumatic that is to make a 4-year-old take a life, right? They go into the woods and hunt a deer, and that 4-year-old takes a life, and that's what he knows. And at 4 years old, he can't even know if he's doing something right or wrong. So hold up 1 second. All he knows is take a life, right? That is all our oppressor knows. They have these oppressors killing from before they can even decide if they want to be a firefighter or a doctor, if they want to be a plumber or some artist who draws cartoons, right? But what they're teaching these children are, eventually you're going to go outside and kill blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Barack, you had something?
Salakia, I just lost the thought.
Khan, no sweat. Officer Shaiwan, can you read the precept?
Come, sir. Oh, Salakia. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28.
From 49. We can
verse
start
49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth.
Right. This nation, they hopped off to Santa Maria. Right? They came when Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Right? I don't know how that saying goes. There's some saying about Columbus, and they're trying to make it seem like he was some good person when he was just, excuse me, Salakia. He was just another murderer, just another rapist, like the Catholic Church. Right? Keep reading.
Come. From the end of the earth.
From Spain.
As swift as the eagle flieth.
And we know what the oppressor, listen, majority of oppressors, their nations are some type of eagle, some type of falcon, some type of bird, right? That kills, right? It should let you know exactly what they're about. They have a bird that kills as their symbol. The oppressor, Salakia, the oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of, and he has nothing good for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And I just thought I'd let you know, right? It's not like we haven't been saying it since 1969. It's not like that. We haven't been saying it since then, right? and your pastor is telling you to love that scorpion. Can you imagine? Your pastor is telling you to drink poison.
Right.
That's such a terrible thing. Shaywan, if I told you to drink poison, would you say I love you?
La, sir. No.
La, right? If I told you to tie some weights to your ankle and jump in a pool, the deep end of the pool at that, would you say I love you?
La, sir.
Right? Black people have been drowning in the love of the Christian church.
Right.
Hold up. Hey, Shalom, priest. Yahweh Shemel Shai
Hey,
Barakah.
Shalom,
Yeah, but she may have shot
That was my Shabbat picture.
Who's that? Shalom, priest. Yahweh Shemel Shai
Yeah, but
Barakah.
she may have shot Barakah.
Right. Now, listen. There was some music you were hearing at the beginning of the class, right? And listen, it's just a part of the mission. Salakia. Now, so what we're talking about the Buffalo shooter, the devil, and how he murdered black people, and how the Christian church is alive, right? And when we tell black people that you're supposed to come out of Christianity and not love your oppressor, they look at us like we're just talking fart. They look at us like we're crazy. We don't know what we're talking about, right? Officer Shaywan, you can keep reading.
Come.
And Jamaica, y'all already know what it is. Y'all, anything y'all want to add, bring it out. We got like another 30 minutes, but we'll probably go a little longer now that you joined us. So y'all could bring it out anytime y'all want. Officer Shaywan.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Right. When we were speaking Hebrew, we didn't understand their English that they were talking about. Right. All we knew was these are people that aren't us. Right. The natives in Canada, throughout the Caribbean islands, throughout South America and the Americas, they didn't speak the Queen's English, right? They spoke Hebrew. You can keep reading.
Verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
And that's why an oppressor is able to go into the supermarket where black women are trying to buy formula, the same formula that's running out on the shelves, right? That same formula that's running out of the shelves in America and in Canada, right? I seen a post in Canada. Someone posted and said, "There's no formula on the shelves," right? They don't understand what's going on. The Lord is trying to wake you up and show you something. He's trying to show you that you believe in the oppressor's way of life, it's going to fail you. Right?
Right.
God, there's a man, he doesn't give a damn if you're 85 trying to get some bread. He's going to let his AR-15 off. He doesn't care if you are Salakia, if you are just a fetus in your mother's womb, he's going to tell your mother it's okay to murder you. Right? Read that one more time, Officer Shaywan.
Come. Which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
Right. He's not going to care if you're old or young. He's just going to murder you. Because that's what he does. He's a murderer from the beginning. Right? This is what our King Yahushua Mashiach charged the Pharisees, the Sadducees and Pharisees with. He told them that you are of your father the devil. And just like the title of the class says, the oppressor is the devil. He's the reason we call ourselves black today. Cubans, Mexicans, Haitians, Jamaicans, Indians. He's the reason the tribe of Gad speaks English. The reason the tribe of Issachar speaks Spanish. Because he didn't care how old they were, how young they were. He put them to death with the sword.
Right.
Right. Salakia. We could drop that. Was there anything else in that article?
Khan. Gendron of Conklin, New York, has since pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder.
Right. Now this is how, again, we brought it out earlier, right? Now check this out. We brought it out earlier. The oppressor doesn't take accountability for his crimes, right? Officer Shariwan, can you get Obadiah and Obadiah 1 in 10 by the shot? Right? He doesn't take accountability for his crimes. The devil was on Twitch, a streaming that people who play video games used to stream live.
Right.
He was on Twitch doing a live stream of live action Call of Duty. Live action murder of black folks. And now he's in court saying, I'm not guilty. It's like, you know, you catch now, Salakia, listen. I know a lot of kids have done this, right? I've probably done this a bunch of times where you get caught red-handed, right? Your mom or pops tells you you cannot eat the cake or the sweets that are in the cupboard, and then they catch you eating the cake and the crumbs is all on your face. You got icing on your fingers, and you say, no, I'm not eating cake, right? That's what this oppressor is doing, right? What did heathen Shaggy say? He said it wasn't me. That is the heathen thing to do, right? To say it wasn't me. I am not guilty. Salakia, who is
Salakia, sir.
Khan?
Well, I for me, I look behind this heathen,
Right,
and look at the environment that he was growing in. He's only 18.
right.
And he's able to do all that without any without thinking twice.
Right.
He's a damn good shooter, for sure.
Right.
Yes. At 18.
Right.
He manages AR-15 well. Etched in it, nigger ears your reparation.
Yeah. Right.
He understand reconnaissance and planning. He went out for several times to the community that he wanted to target. He grew up in an environment that wants to kill black people. Yeah, and this is just one of such person from his environment. So this is the kind of shooters now that is coming out. So I mean, I don't know. Next time we go to America, boy, we just have to really go under Shamar when we go on the road.
Sure.
Right. Salakia, if I may, when it comes to the I.S.U.P.K, there's an angel over every school. There's an angel over the school in Jamaica, over every school in America, over the schools in Canada, over the school in UK. Wherever we are, there's an angel over our school. And we have excellent shamar, excellent discipline, right? And we teach our brothers and sisters, if you can legally get a firearm, right? Keep in mind, RCMP and all the police agencies that are listening to this, I said legally get a firearm. Go get one. Right? Because there's an oppressor who he's hunting at the age of 4. At 18, just like Priest Abadawan said, he's doing recognizance, right? And he handles his firearm well, right? And to add on to what you're saying, his environment at 18, how does he know how to hate black people? Someone must have taught him, right?
That's my point.
Come on, Priest, you hit that right on the head. Someone taught him that.
Right. And obviously it's an environment which this is just like you and I are sharing a beer and talking about girls.
Right.
Which girls we like and which girl we don't like.
Right.
So, racism in his environment is the norm.
Right, and that's definitely heavy. His parents taught him that, and just like they charged Young Thug and YSL with the RICO, his parents should be charged with the RICO, right? Because they're into gangsterism and racketeering.
So, like, I wonder if I may.
God.
Just like Officer Badawan just brought out, like let's say like we drinking a beer talking about girls, which one we like, which one we don't like. He was probably doing the same thing, right? Drinking a beer with his buddies or his family, talking about which nation he likes and which nation he doesn't like.
Right. And every beast likes his own kind.
Right.
If we now Thawada priest Kayadwan for that video, because when you first sent it to me, I first looked at it like, what the hell did this man just send me? And I wasn't even taking in what I was watching. I didn't know anything about this, right?
Yeah, it looked like a video game.
Yeah,
It looked like a video game.
Me a search, Silakia sir. Me a search for it because I want to really see what go on.
Right.
You understand? And as I find it now, it is up on a different website. Never really up on any one of the popular websites. So I have to find something to download it, because I say, surely the brothers them want to see this video. You understand? So I just share it around and think, so the brothers them see what go on.
Right.
This come like sport. This come like sport to the devil, you know. You
Right.
understand?
Right.
So nonchalant as him go about killing our people. You know what I mean? And as soon as him reach to the white man now, I'm say, oh sorry.
Oh, sorry.
You know what I mean? Because his intention, right. His intentions wasn't to hurt any white person.
Any white. So
Right.
those whites were just at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Right.
They
Now,
were the wrong target.
Con priest, because that's exactly what I wanted to bring out, right? And this is how you know UPK is the home of the truth. One mind, one body. Because my brother knew exactly what I was going to talk about. He brought it out for me. The water priest, right? Check it out now. If that devil saw those Edomites hand to hand with black people, surely he would have killed those devils, right? But because he Con.
We call him nigger lover.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. He would have called them nigger lovers and he would have killed them. Right. Officer Shaiwan, can you bring out that precept, Babu Kashah?
Salakia, when you were asking for every beast loveth his like?
No, Obadiah 1:10.
Oh, come on, sir. It's the book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 10.
Con.
Verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
Right. There was a point where Esau was our brother, right? And the Most High seemed fit to make sure we are separate. Again, when Rebecca went to go inquire of the men of the Lord to find out why she was going through such travail in her pregnancy, they told her there are two nations in her womb, right? The Most High saw fit to separate us, right? And he even said, listen, do not abhor an Edomite. Now, Christianity and Kemet, they use this to tell black people to drink more poison, right? Do not abhor an Edomite. You're supposed to love the devil, right? When all that meant is forgive everything he's done before. Because we're going to wipe the slate clean, and now there's no forgiveness. Because even when you wipe the slate clean and say, here's a fresh piece of paper to start writing on, they just fill it with more crimes. Now the crime list is just, if we had to read the crimes of the Edomites, we would be reading for 1,000 years.
Good.
Right? It wouldn't stop. It just wouldn't stop.
And Salaki.
Come
on. When the moment, the same hours that it happened last week, Saturday evening, right?
Gone. Sometime around there.
All right. We were at camp having a conversation with Jake.
Good.
He saw the picture what his name again? The white
White
Christ.
Jesus, God.
You saw the white Jesus.
Right.
So our picture, right? Our picture now. We can show you.
Right. Y'all got pictures now? Salakia, card one. When y'all do that?
You're supposed to know. You're supposed to know this
All
picture,
right.
man. It's there when you're far away.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Image of the beast, right?
Right.
Right across it. So he was a bit upset.
God.
He's a Christian. He was a bit upset. You know, one of those jakes who struggle through life and come up and not struggling so much again. So he was a bit upset that it was there, and you know, we're showing him the scripture that these people don't like you. You think they like you. And say, of course, in work we're on white people and thing. And I said, they like you. He said, yeah, they appreciate me. I said, yeah, they appreciate you because you're a good slave.
Right.
All right. We were arguing for probably an hour. He leave saying, you better go and find something. Let's say
Go find something better for do.
Find something. So we should go and find something better for do and find something to like what I said, to build something to counteract what the white man have.
Go get a job. That's what he said. He said, go get a job.
He's not saying to go and get a job. He's saying the white man have nuclear that can kill us.
Oh,
so we should go and find something. The very moment he was talking, this cracker was in America killing black people.
God.
When he was trying to beat us down for telling him that the white man don't love him.
Right.
Salakia, if I may.
So we went back to camp this week. I was hoping that I would have seen him again.
Right.
God, Salakia, and what General YAHANNA was bringing out on Black Watch is so heavy in that, like, these things have to happen so that our people can see who the devil the Bible speaks of.
Right.
Like it's sad to see our brothers be shot like that, but a lot of us got to wake up and understand what's really going on.
Yeah,
that's heavy because I tell brothers all the time. Now, okay, in Canada, right? Because there are so much drugs to do and so many heathens to sleep with. When you try to talk to a brother as a black man, they just want nothing to do with you. Right? And you try to tell them about the truth, and they just look at you like, nah, I gotta go smoke this weed. And I tell these brothers, I can only say it to them raw. Excuse me, brother, you need more tragedy in your life.
Right.
Tragedy is going to come and find you because that's what you need to wake up.
Right.
What do they say? Who don't hear must feel.
Must feel.
Right. So it's heavy what Officer Shaiwan's bringing out and what the generals are bringing out. And again, we just got to thank Commanding General YAHANNA for raising us up to be real men. Right? Real men are back in the community. And we're teaching our brothers and sisters and our children not to fall for the tricks of the oppressor, right? Officer Shaiwan, did you finish that precept?
La, sir.
Come on, you can finish it.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee.
Right.
And thou shalt be cut off forever.
Right. Because of the violence that the oppressor, the devil the Bible speaks of, has committed against us, all the slavery, all the lynchings, all the murder, all the rape, the 7,000 plus children they dug out the ground in Canada of the Gadite nation. And that number just keeps on going up. Now, Salakia, we're going to see that number jump up. It's probably going to double within the next, the more they dig, just the more they dig, that number is going to jump, right? Because of all of that, shame is covering these oppressors, right? It just recently came out that in the city of Montreal, they're thinking that it's monkeypox, right? So first there's COVID, and now they're saying it's monkeypox. Now, Jamaica, get this. they're saying the monkeypox is because of homosexuality, right? And we know the oppressor,
Yes, I hear that part.
right? They're
Yeah.
saying because of men sleeping with men, the disease they might be getting right now is monkeypox. Now, if the Most High is not to be played with. Like that is a bad man.
Guess what? And it's righteous too, because they love to say, well, you've got this monkey on your back.
Right.
They love to call, they call us monkeys. They love to use the term monkey on the back. So it is the chicken coming home to roost.
Right.
Damn right. Damn right. The chickens are coming home to roost, and the Most High, he's gonna settle up the score with the heathens and all the enemies of the children of Israel.
Right.
Yeah, we don't have to do nothing. We don't have to commit no crimes. We just gotta show love. Again, I went to Jamaica, and my brothers right here showed me the most love. Like in the UPK, wherever we go, once brothers link up, and you're a brother, I'm a brother, we're under one banner. It's love. That's all we do. There's no hate. There's no guile in us. We don't have anything to hate about. We put all our hate into one thing, and that is hating the oppressor.
Right.
We don't hate his skin. We hate his crimes.
Right.
Right? Now check this out, right? Everyone says, how can you hate? You have hate in your heart. But they're angry and crying that 10 black people, what was it, 10 or 11 black people were murdered trying to get some eggs.
It's like a 10 out of 1.
10.
11 killed, about 10 black.
13 shot, 10 blacks dead.
Good night, right?
Yeah.
And we're not supposed to hate the crimes of our oppressor.
11 killed now. Oh, one must have died in the hospital.
Good night, right?
It's a lot, out of 1, if I may.
Come.
Among all the nations on the earth, right? The only nation that is supposed to forgive their oppressor is the nation of Israel, which is blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, right? They don't ask the Arabs they don't ask the Palestinians to forgive the Israeli that's in Israel right now. They don't ask America to forgive the terrorists that did the bombing on 9/11, right? They don't ask Ukrainians to forgive Russia, but they will always ask us, forgive your oppressor, forget about slavery, right? You need to forgive. It happened so long ago. Not all white people are bad. You understand? This devil was stressed out because of COVID. We have to forgive him. Forgive Dylan Roof for shooting up the church. You understand?
Good,
We're
man.
the only people who is supposed to forgive their oppressor, their murderer, their rapist. You understand? They don't. It shows that they really don't care about our nation. You understand? And that we're the nation that is not desired, as it says in Zephaniah 2:1.
Right. And it's they don't want us to forgive because according to all the heathens, black people are supposed to be docile.
Right.
We're supposed to just shut up and dribble like they told LeBron. Right. They don't want it. Like, now they know that if we don't forgive and we get in righteousness, right, and we get under the banner of the UPK, we're going to build up the black community. Right. Now, when you go, just go to the tribe of Judah, right, and you see that Captain Tazariak, he always brings this out, right? 50 years after slavery, we had towns that were making money, right? We had towns where all we had to do was love each other, and the black dollar stayed in the community, right? And Salakia, again, once you realize that all we have to do is love each other, our communities get stronger. They know that, so they tell us, forgive everybody but yourself.
Right.
Salakia. Officer Shayuan, can you get me Psalms 83? Right.
Okay.
And again, the oppressor, he's the devil the Bible speaks of. And I always say it, right? It makes my teeth whiter when I say it. Right? Whenever I talk and the devils be like, why is your teeth so white? I be like, because the devil is the oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of. That it wasn't Colgate. Toothpaste didn't do this. Salakia. Now you have to brush your teeth, but like y'all know what I mean, right? Was there anything else in that article that was of importance?
Khan. Keep reading. He is now being held without bail and faces life in prison. Relatives say they think the teen snapped after his sense of paranoia increased, coupled with the sheer isolation of the pandemic. I have no idea how he could have gotten caught up in this. I blame it on COVID, said a cousin.
Wait, one second. After y'all said, again, just like Abadawan said, his environment, there's no doubt that they said black people are monkeys in that house. There's no doubt that they called us niggers in that house. And the family's saying, I have no idea why he's snapping. What else do you got? Right. That's what I said. Right? You can only laugh at the logic of these oppressors because, again, they do not want to hold themselves accountable. They know that they raised a monster. They know that they raised a terrorist because that's all this is. It's terrorism against the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
And again, Salakia, if I may, they say he didn't know, right, what made him snap, and it was because of COVID. But besides the manifesto, he published multiple messages about his plans on going to shoot black people and how it was about the what we call it again, the replacement theory. You understand? So they knew what he was about. They just, like you said, don't want to take accountability for it because then it's like, how could you raise such a monster?
Right.
You understand? The fingers are going to be pointed at the parents also, and they don't want that.
Right. And Salakia, what we were bringing out earlier, what the priest brought out earlier is replacement theory, right? Where the oppressors, they're not having as much babies, right? Becky can't breed up like how she used to, right? So they think they're going to be replaced by black people. And at the end of the day, the kingdom of Esau is about to fall, right? And the kingdom of Yashra Allah is about to rise. And we're going under the authority of a great black man by the name of Yahweh Shai Mashiach. We're gonna have these same right. Under his authority, we're gonna have these same heathens, especially the tribe of Edom, build up our kingdom. Right. And for every brother and sister watching right now, I know that times might be hard for you, right? Endure. Come home and endure with your brothers and sisters. Times aren't hard for us in the UPK. Listen, brothers go through things, but the brotherhood in here, the sisterhood in here is so strong that it just feels like just a regular day. You feel like you can get through anything. All you have to do is endure. Salakia. Was that it?
Salakia, I'm jumping down in the article, right? It says, husband, 68-year-old Dave Komarov also suggested that Gendron may have developed lizard brain, which controls aggression.
Salakia, listen, he's just a devil. That's right. What it is. He's just a devil. He's just a murderer. He's just an oppressor who hates blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? And if your pastor was wise and he wasn't a dumb dog, right? If your celebrities were wise and wasn't a dumb dog, they would have knew what we know, right? They would have knew what Officer Sharyuan is about to read right now. Salakia, Jamaica, y'all got something?
So Mr. Over there again.
Oh no, I thought y'all were saying something. No sweat. Officer Sharyuan.
Sir.
God, no sweat. Officer Sharyuan, can you read Psalms 83, verse 4?
Come. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 4. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Right. Every nation has hated us. This book is over 2,000 years old. Why isn't your pastor telling you there's a people that hate a specific people and they want to cut them off from being a nation? They want to murder them and tell them you could abort your baby. Read that one more time, because this is the abortion clinic.
They have said, come, And let us cut them off from being a nation.
Give them drugs.
Let us cut them off from being a nation.
Give them gangster rap.
Let us cut them off from being a nation.
Run into that supermarket and gun down 11 blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
And let us cut them off from being a nation.
You can keep reading, Officer Shaiwan.
That the name of Israel may be
Yasha
known.
Allah.
That the name of Yasharallah may be no more in remembrance.
Right. They don't want us to remember who we are. So now we call ourselves blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, Canadians, just so many terrible African Americans, African Canadians, right? Just a name that is not of the Lord, right? We were called the princes of power, and our sisters were the daughters of Zion, right? There's no one greater than a black man. Listen, I ain't even gonna give you a sports reference, right? Because a lot of times we come with the sports reference. We know we're the strongest. We know we're the fastest. We know we look the best. We know our women look the best. We know we dance the best and dress the best and we cook the best. Everything about us is just good.
Kind of what kind,
right? But what else? We have the best scientists.
Right.
Damn near everything that was invented is because of us. We built pyramids for some stinking Hamite, and they're still standing. Well, when you look into Europe, right, and you go look at the structures built over there, right, the ones that we didn't build, because we know that we control Europe too. The ones that we didn't build, they're not over. They don't stand anymore. Salakia.
Right, Adawan. So, like you said, we have the best scientists, right? And we, like you said, we build the pyramids for some stinking Africans. But just even simpler than that, like the white men couldn't even build a doorknob or a broom. We did that for them.
Right. The oppressor, he can't even build a doorknob. No, listen, we the traffic light, a brother.
The mailbox,
a brother.
The clothes dryer,
a brother.
You understand? Folding chairs.
Listen, a brother. Sisters sent the oppressor to the moon.
Right.
Sisters sent the oppressors to the moon. Right. Now sisters are sending the strip clubs into the millionaire category. Right. When they were sending oppressors to the moon. Right. The sisters now is, again, I'm gonna go left with this, right? Because the sisters follow what the oppressor says, and because the pastors haven't put a hedge around the sisters have made Planned Parenthood millions of dollars off the death of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. When they were making priests, right? A brother would put some life into her. About 9 months later, she would give that life back, and that brother would be raised up to be a priest. Right? Officer Shayuan, you can keep reading.
Come.
Salakia, sir. If I may.
Come.
You know what I mean? We them force us, we build this, you know what I mean, this wicked kingdom, right? On top of that, we build everything where them use in the kingdom.
Right.
Get no credit for work what we use, build the kingdom, no credit for the things that we created. You understand? And as well as that, we are the fuel to drive this thing. We are the fuel where them use to keep this thing going. Sure. You understand? Yo, that are the most terrible slavery somebody could have ever go through in a road, boy. So luck here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No sweat, priest. I got you.
So.
No, Salakia, you can continue, priest.
No, just to say, yo, we build the things that run it, and also we are the fuel to run this wicked kingdom. Salakia. You know what I mean? It's a terrible thing, isn't it?
It's a terrible thing to go through. And they know that if they continue to tell us to drink poison, we're going to die. And when we die, we don't make righteous men and women, right? Because we're in every neighborhood just dying, right? And this is a conversation. This is a conversation I was having with Baraki Allah earlier today, right? Again, we see some brothers on the corner just doing nigga stuff. They ain't doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're not standing with the men of the Lord under commanding General YAHANNA. And I basically showed him all gangsters die.
That's right.
If they don't come home, they die, and they're going to die. They're either going to die by being murdered or die on that street corner slowly. Their soul is going to be destroyed. And many of our brothers, they end up in the prison cells dying. And it was lucky enough that I was able to hear this truth in those same prison cells. And I came home and I found the truth.
Right.
And so many of our listen, there's a brother that he's a Hebrew Academy graduate, and he graduated Hebrew Academy behind the wall. I can't wait to hear that brother speak.
That's right.
Right? Because he found the truth and he holds it close to him. Right? Again, gangsters are dying. Our people are zombies. They look like the black community looks like the Michael Jackson Thriller video. Right? That's what I see, and it's hard for me not to see it because I see the potential. I see how they could. I look at brothers in the school as an example of what a black man's supposed to be.
Right.
Then I look on the corner and I see what a black man shouldn't be. He wants to be a gangster. When black people make shitty criminals, we're not good at being a criminal. Right? We just listen. In the community, in the black community, we want to commit a crime and put it on our cell phone.
Right.
Right? They want to rob a brother and talk about, I have a gun and I just robbed this brother's chain, and then he puts his face in the camera. I'm like, good night. You just told on yourself, like you're going to jail. You have brothers saying, I'm slime and I'm wiping a brother's nose. Wiping a brother's nose damn near means to commit murder. Then you get charged with the RICO because the FBI, they don't play around when it comes to their charges, and brothers rarely beat the FBI. Those men, those white boys, they don't lose. And now everyone's upset that some effeminate brother who wears nail polish, damn near half a homo, is charged with the RICO. Right? When Commander Johnny YAHANNA, he wants every brother to be a saint.
Right.
Good.
Right. Salakia, Officer Shaywan, was that the rest of it?
Colonel Khan, sir. That was the end of verse 4, sir.
That was the end of verse 4. What did I want to? You can read, you can keep reading.
Colonel Khan. Psalms 83 and verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent.
All these heathen nations came together to make sure blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans perish. Excuse me. Salakia. To make sure that we're no longer being recognized as the children of Israel. Right? Now check this out. A black man could be anything but an Israelite.
Right.
This is the one thing that I ultimately noticed. A black man can put on a dress. You're not supposed to put on a dress. But let you put on some spikes and some fringes, and everyone looks at you like you're weird. Let you put on a war scarf, like the beautiful war scarf my brothers in Jamaica have on right now. Right? And put some oil on your head and say, I'm a priest of the Most High. And they're going to say, no, you can't be a priest of the Most High because the priests of the Most High are only supposed to be white men. Right? No one goes to the Amalekites and says, prove you're a Jew. Right? How can you be a Jew but from the tribe of Levi? Right? Now we understand that because the kingdom split, you had Israel and you had the kingdom of Judah, which was 3 tribes that became one. But when you ask these Amalekites, they don't even understand that. Right? Now, just because you were Salakia, Officer Shaywan, keep reading.
Come. They are confederate against thee.
Read.
The tabernacles of Edom. And the
Wait. The tabernacles of who?
The tabernacles of Edom.
The oppressor the Bible speaks of, right? The men who walk into grocery stores and kill black people just trying to buy some food, right? They know that, listen, a black man, a black woman, we love our food because we know how to cook, right? With all the amazing spices, right? How you think Colonel Sanders got that recipe for that fried chicken? When you do the history of fried chicken, you understand that it's what the slaves made. The slaves made fried chicken because we weren't given the best parts of food, and there was times when we had to work long hours, and especially during the underground railway, when we were running from our captivity, right? We were running from the punishment of the Most High. We made fried chicken because it was just something that was easy to make, right? Every nation is confederate against us. They know that, listen, you go to a supermarket, you're going to find some black people, right? And only a coward's going to go to a place where there's no defense, right? Now, listen,
Good.
unfortunately, because our oppressor is a devil, there are so many guns in our communities. This coward, this murderer, the monster, he did not go to the drug spot to go shoot it up, because he knows he would have got into a full-blown shootout, right? Now, right. Now, again, listen, black men, y'all better go figure out how to get some legal guns and get in them fire ranges and practice to shoot guns legally, right? Because the oppressor, he be shooting from 4 years old. And you're going to see more of these oppressors rise up. Again, what this man did was he did the Batman bat signal, right? You know, when they put the bat signal in the air for Batman to go and fight some crime, right? That's what he did. He said it's open season on blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And you're going to see more of it. And the only protection you're going to get is in the I.S.U.P.K. Straight up. Like, there's no protection anywhere. Officer Shariwan, you can keep reading.
Okay. And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab. And the Hagarenes.
Right? The Ishmaelites being your so-called Arabs. Moab, Salakia. Moab is the Chinese. These are all the nations that came up against us. But if you notice, at the top of that list was Edom. Right? There's a man that goes around just committing terrorist acts, and when he does it, everyone says he was just disturbed. COVID made him snap. Right? He was isolated for 2 years, and that's why he went and killed so many black people. And black people, we've been in isolation for so long, and we don't go outside and kill Edom. We don't grab guns and go outside and shoot the people that are oppressing us, right? All we do is we go and murder ourselves. You could drop that. You could drop that right there. Salakia, if anybody else has any precepts or anything else they want to bring out, y'all could go for it. We're over the time, so we're gonna be ending this class a little in a little bit. But if y'all got anything y'all want to bring out on this subject, go for it.
Salakia, I don't want.
Okay.
Salaki, I don't know if we did Lamentations 4 already. They on our steps.
Khan, we brought it out, but y'all could bring it out one more time.
Repeat?
Khan, I was saying, yeah, we read it earlier, but y'all could definitely read it again.
Okay. Well, I just want to bring out the point that it's really true what the scripture says, because what this cracker did was he went hunting. This was real that he went. You're going hunting. You scout out your hunting ground.
Right.
Right. You get your weapon. You don't hunt in places where there's gonna be a pushback, where there is a prey that could get you back.
Right.
Yeah. So what he did, just as the scripture said, he went hunting. He was hunting our steps. He wasn't picking a fight.
Right.
Right? When you go hunting, you are the predator. right? You
Right.
don't go hunting where other predators would harm you. So what he did is not new. Not new to the scripture. But I mean, we in the UPK, then again, you know, each time I remember this, you know, I just I just give thanks more and more to UPK for, you know, preparing us and helping us to understand warfare.
Right.
Because this is warfare. The blacks out there that is in the world, they see this, they think that this man needs prayer.
Right.
Good.
They think that they need to hold his hand and sing Kumbaya and read him the 23rd Psalm or some Psalms or something while praying for him. Right? This man is a hunter who is trying to kill you. And the scripture in Lamentations explain that to us. Christ said, sell your garment, buy a sword. He did not say, sell your garment and buy a hymn book. Right? We need to understand warfare. And our brothers out there that are in the world who keep thinking that ISUPK just looking for white men to eat. Well, what I say, the pussy's out the bag now.
Right. Right.
Because mass shooters have always been in America. This one is the clearest racial shooting by an individual white in America.
Right.
It's clear now.
It's clear.
Just like the George Floyd thing. It's the shooting part is now clear.
Yeah, the manifesto.
The next question now is, what will you do? Now I would like to know who trained him. And we have been hearing that in the news. Who is his trainer?
That's a good question.
Khan.
Yeah, somebody has to train him. Who
That's
trained
a
him?
good question.
You know, AR-15s, you can't get a license in Jamaica for AR-15. It's police and soldiers carry that in Jamaica. That is not a civilian assault rifle.
Salakia, about one. In America, Salakia?
Repeat, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say in America, you could get an AR-15 in Walmart.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And AR-15 is not a gun that you use to go on deers and so on. So what does our people think it is for? What, to sing Kumbaya and, oh, that song sound good, Bossa Blanc, po. That's not what it's for. That is to kill. And to kill humans. Right? So, I mean, this is the biggest, I mean, I'm able to go to Passover each year, you know, Tawada to the Most High for that, to command the general there as well.
Right.
But no more Passover can ever be the same for me again. This, you know, when things happen, I said, damn, shit's about to get real. Guess what? It is real now.
Right.
It's not the same again. Yeah, your Shamar is top priority in UPK. Right? There are many questions that is not the answer. That's the first thing I want to know. Which organization, at his age, those top gears that he had, I can bet you didn't buy it out of his pocket. He didn't work to buy it. You can't, this is not the kind of thing that you work at Walmart and buy.
Right. So
who buy those gears for him? Who trained him to be such a good shooter?
Salaki, if I may.
And I bet that group is not listed as an 8 group in America.
Right.
But we are the haters.
Right. If I may, what I was gonna say is what you're bringing out is extremely heavy, because we can all but guarantee that if we do a real investigation into this, because we know the oppressor is not going to do a real investigation into their own, right? But if we were to do an investigation into this, we're going to find out that gear is most likely his family members.
Right.
Someone in his family members owns it, and he just had access to it, even though they knew he was going to go kill Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
And he put a lot of planning in what he did.
Right.
Manifesto, traveling to this site, traveling to his hunting site several times before he actually went hunting. Right?
Right.
He put a lot of planning in what he was doing. Now, this is the kind of, if you were running a business and you put that much planning that he put into that, chances are your business would have been successful.
Right.
Yeah. Now, this is we're not playing with chickens anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And Salakia, if I may, right, what you said struck a chord with me, because now that I think about it, we just had a Passover with damn near 1,000 Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans all in one spot, and there were no issues. Now, that doesn't say that the Lord is with the I.S.U.P.K. I don't know what does, right? Because in America right now, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans can't even go to the grocery store, right? And the last thing I'm going to say is, again, if your pastor knew these scriptures, he would have told you that this is what the Feast of Purim is about, because our oppressor just wants to murder us, right? And when I say that, I'm going to say it like this, right? Haman, a Amalekite, seeing Mordecai get referenced, right? He seen him get praised and just praised for being a brother, and he hated that, right? If you go to Esther and the 3rd chapter, verses 5 to 6, you're gonna see that because Mordecai did not bow down to Haman, right? He wanted to kill Mordecai, and he just didn't want to kill Mordecai. He wanted to kill all the Jews. So he set out to try and kill all the Jews. And because the Lord loves his children, it just did not work out like that. And we remember the Feast of Purim because of it. Right? So again, this has been another Saturday Night Scripture Breakdown, I.S.U.P.K. Canada, from 8 to 10 p.m. We did go over the time, right? I want to give a hand to Jamaica for coming in tonight. Right? We appreciate you, brothers. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing the Rise podcast again. We're going to be streaming from, if not this channel, the Rise Podcast 1969 is the YouTube channel from 2 p.m. That would be, I think, 1 p.m. Jamaican time, 2 p.m. in Canada, Eastern Standard Time, right? We'll be going for an hour, maybe an hour, 20 minutes. Salaki, is there anything else?
Khan on one.
Khan.
Salaka, if you haven't done it yet, right, go buy Captain TITHES' books. He has 3 books out right now. The first one is Issachar, son of Jacob. The second one is Reuben, my excellence.
Right.
And the third one is We Came from the East, right?
Right.
The first 2 books to be found and bought on Amazon. The third book would be on Cross the Line Radio website, which is crossthelineradio.com. Again, go and support Captain TITHES. Go get that knowledge, you understand? And there's more to come.
We got scholars in here. Good night. Listen, man. We just ain't niggas on the corner no more. We got scholars and books. And good night. Right?
Yeah,
So
and also they had they crossed the line last Thursday was
right.
That was off the chart.
Right.
You remember when in Jamaica you had which Jamaican dish is your nicest dish?
Ah, man, listen, I had a feast when I was down there. I can't even think of one right now.
All right. Well, whichever one was your nicest dish, that Thursday class was like me having one of our nice dish.
Right.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna say I love the breakfast, the ackee and saltfish in the morning breakfast. That's one of the, like, you can get it up here, but when you actually go down back home and you see the ackee get knocked off the tree and it's just chilling right there, and then you see it prepare up in the morning. Yeah, I gotta go for that one. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, man, no sweat. Maybe next time when you're here, we'll be, most of our repairs that we are doing will be out the way, so
Yeah,
they can actually come on this.
yeah. I'm planning for a trip just now.
Yeah, that's
I'm
already
planning for a trip.
cool again.
The cooler. Listen, the water for that cooler, because boy, that was a drink of drinks.
God.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. So with that said, Khan.
I'm gonna need that.
Okay.
With that said, I'm going to hand the class over to Precinct Officer 500 Shariwan. The water for tuning in. Clap it up.
We're going to do the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We're the I.S.U.P.K, started out of 1 West 125th Street out of New York. We're for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. They need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 to 10. Ma'ashra means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, funeral offering for priests is not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. We have the Feast of First Fruits coming up. Slovakia, just let me get the date. We got the Feast of First Fruits coming up, which will be on Sunday, June 12th of this year. Any brother who wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. With that said, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers, and one courtesy salute to the sisters, men of Israel, Imadium, which means Sam. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers, men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Yad Yamatah, Sar, turn and face the sisters, men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar, Yad Yamatah, class dismissed.